as a people with one song, with one voice, we're a nation undivided and poised. We will take a stand and build our land in faith to defend what is ours. Here we are as a people with one heart for one cause. We're determined to rebuild and restore. Where freedom reigns and truth prevails. Our land where there's hope for us all. Our land where there's hope for us all.
To see a country that serves men of vision.
No. Sorry. I don't need to be the only person to hear this wonderful article.
Okay. WaaGovernment, could you remember the article I've told you I'll be publishing in the dailies? I invite you today so I can read you for you, and I invite you to be my spectator.
Yeah.
Before you read, what were you discussing with our doctor? We didn't hear.
Yes. She was just admiring me, admiring my passion for the country,
Okay.
admiring the mirrors of our world as contribution for my many contributions to humanity and nation building. But their words are the past. We are looking at the future.
Exactly.
And we are here to give a clear direction for the future. And today, WaaGovernment, thank you for coming to my house and being my guest, be my spectator.
Before you continue, Beulah, you see, he has taken the podium and wants to impress WaaGovernment. And today is Valentine, you're already wearing your red. And Etuk is wearing red tie too. So can I ask that Etuk sits very close to you and the WaaGovernment stays opposite him so that they can have eye contact? Because I'm sure WaaGovernment is his muse, is his inspiration for all these works.
Yes, sir, you are absolutely correct. WaaGovernment have been my partner in nation building indeed.
Of course, I cannot refuse it.
So, Etuk, sit here, you come this way, WaaGovernment. You go that way.
Yes, move.
WaaGovernment, come this way. So that
Jesus.
you can maintain the eye contact. Don't you think?
Viewers,
You see, you may have the privilege of going to the United Nations tomorrow, and you are practicing addressing the world from your house. And we are living in a digital age, and you don't know how many millions may watch you from here. So you've got to keep your inspiration close by. So look into his eyes and let's see.
okay.
No, allow Beulah to be close to Etuk because they are both wearing red.
WaaGovernment. This is the article I inform you of publishing in the dailies. And I invite you to be my spectator with my guests, my friends today. In our patriotic desire for a better country, for a developed Africa, we do not only need leaders with vision and strength of character, but citizens culture for a change who are proud of their country, as Idua Koika opine. Your pride for your country should not come after your country have become great. And your country, after your country has become great, your country becomes great because of your pride in it. Your country becomes great because of your pride in it. No nation can progress without a purpose and vision. Nations are not built through loyalty to blood, culture, and geographical location, but through the pursuit of a common purpose and a common vision. As the man of God, Pastor Chris, said, nations are rated by their mental capacities and how they have been able to develop their economies and technologies. By this rating, we can rightly observe that Nigeria and most African countries are still very far from the true definition of a nation. And until we grow and build our country prosperity will elude us.
Exactly.
Until every citizen sees the country as his or our own. Until every citizen sees the country as his or our community to a degree. Until our love and faith in our country is stronger than the attachment we have for our geographical location and biological enclave, we will not have a nation. And until we come together to build our country, peace and national unity will not be achieved. The building of our country is a responsibility. The building of our country is the responsibility of leadership and citizens. We must work together as a people and see the country as more important than building personal estates for poverty to wish the continent goodbye. The great Zik of Africa, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Nigeria's first Prime Minister, in his tribute to Honorable Timothy Paul Birabi, you know Honorable Timothy Paul Birabi, a pre-independence member of the House of Representatives who passed on in 1953 after his struggle for the Ogoni province and the creation of Rivers province and the Ogoni division. He said Nigeria lost a son, but Ogoni lost a son. The message passed in the great Zik of Africa's tribute to Birabi above is that in a multi-ethnic and multiculturally diverse country like Nigeria, there must be a direct connection between the people and leaders who represent them to strengthen faith and trust in the system. Honorable Paul Birabi was a leader who loved his people, yet believed in Nigeria. He loved his people, yet believed in Nigeria. Yeah. And it was what Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe referred to when he said, Nigeria lost a son, but Ogoni lost a son. Corruption and political manipulations in the system that enables imposition of candidates during electioneering from the party level to the general election itself has deprived Nigeria and Nigerians of quality leadership, quality representation, and the ethnic nationalities' effective representation. It is the bane of Nigerian leadership failure and the reason for underdevelopment and disunity in our country today. The corrupt system has produced more leaders who don't love the country nor their people, and those who do not think for the collective growth and the unity and the progress of the people. For a change, we must not support uninspiring leaders and corrupt persons into position of trust. For decades, Nigeria has had more of leaders imposed on her from the top than those who emerged from the people. For decades, Nigeria has more of leaders who was imposed on her and those who emerged from the people, who don't think and who don't love their country, who don't even love the collective growth or the progress of the people. For a change, we must not only support imposition of the corrupt people. The message of love for our country acknowledges the peculiarities of Nigeria states and the recommendation for a genuine political reconstruction of the system. The message of love. We are here to pass a message, the message of the WaaGovernment brand, patriotism, nation building, and social change. And that message of love for our country acknowledges the peculiarities of the Nigeria states. We are all aware, and we are in support of the recommendation for a genuine political reconstruction of the system of Nigeria. That is restructuring. As Dr. Okinwume Adesina, the president of the African Development Bank, AFDB, explained at the 80th birthday celebration of General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Edeboye, in his lecture titled Nigeria, a Country of Many Nations, a Quest for National Integration, that restructuring should not be driven by political expediency, but by economic and financial viability. The necessary sufficient conditions for political viability in my patriotic position to stakeholders. WaaGovernment, your friends, we are all stakeholders of this country. We have a stake in this country. The future belongs to us. So in this, my patriotic position to stakeholders like you, young people, and the transit generation, I align with the AFDB boss as a people desiring to make their country work. We must put systems and structures in place for a solid foundation. For us to achieve sustainable growth and nationhood. Nigeria's first generation leaders seem to understand this narrative more, and the various pre-independence and constitutional conferences they adopted was to consolidate on the gains of the independence. The 1963 Constitution and several pre- and post-independence constitutional conferences reflect the mind of the founding fathers of our dear country before the military struck and distorted the building of our country by imposing a unitary constitution and unproductive corrupt system on our beloved country, Nigeria. To build our country, we must go for a people's constitution, for a solid foundation of development and peace. To advance the country in peace, unity, and development, we must set aside all ethnic, religious, sentimental, political consideration and come together to reconstruct our own country. We must invest in the limitless, untapped, and abundant resources spread across the length and breadth of the country. You know, I studied geology. I know how vast this country is. I know how blessed this country is. I know how nature has blessed this country. So I'm talking like a professional.
Yeah.
This country is blessed beyond oil. Our country, Nigeria, and indeed entire Africa. Africa is the richest, naturally blessed country in the world. We must sustain and consolidate our investment in the country's infrastructure and diversification programs of the government. You know, the current government, despite the challenges, invest so much in infrastructure. We must consolidate. The next government must consolidate on the diversification programs of the government and for us to quit our over-independence on oil economy, which has breeded so much laziness in the system. Nigeria lives so much in the oil economy.
Yeah.
That's the bane of the problem we're having today. We have to diversify. To get this done, citizens must come together and consistently mobilize support without bias for viable leadership aspiration and visionary leadership, seeking our support. We are in election period. To get this done, it can only be done by leaders, by new leadership, new kind of leaders. This will be achieved by standing and affirming our support for only those who love for the collective welfare of the people is development driven. This new kind of leaders who want to support must be only those who collective welfare of the people is development driven. They are the kind of leaders that will change this country, not just any politician. Statesmen, we are talking about statesmen who can put in place the basic social amenities for the people and open up the system for fairness and justice to make the people of the various ethnic nationalities trust the government. You know, currently right now, Nigerian citizens hardly trust the government. Yeah. They are more of the Igbos, the Fulanis, the Ogonis, the Ichis. Who are the Nigerians then? We need citizens' culture for change to answer to be proud of their country. The American always say, I'm this, I'm that. They say, we are the Americans. We need citizens of the country that will say, we are Nigerians. And these are the statements we are talking about. They trust the government and the center and the country leadership for the unity of our country and the greatness of Africa. To achieve a nation out of the Nigerian state, the various ethnic nationalities that make up Nigeria must work together and pursue a common vision and a common purpose. Until we all trust, love, and have unshakable faith in our own country, we do not have a nation. Remember, until we have a nation, prosperity will elude us. WaaGovernment, are you aware? Yeah. Every Nigerian must see the country or use our own. We must look at the foundation of the house to address those things that make the building of our shared value and threaten our unity. The foundation of every house is as important as the superstructure of that house. The country constitution is the foundation of the country. The constitution must guarantee every citizen use our right, liberty of expression, and provide freedom and equal opportunities to everyone in a multi-ethnic and widely diversified system like Nigeria. The country constitution should really be a people's constitution. If we must achieve nationhood, the binding force is the citizens' pursuit of shared purpose. Every person or a nation has a purpose. It is noble to discover that purpose. Every country or person have a purpose. It is noble to discover that purpose. There is a purpose for Africa. There is a purpose for Nigeria in Africa, and we must achieve that purpose by adopting a working system for our people. By this, I mean a system that opens up for growth and potentials of our citizens. A system that points citizens to their shared purpose is the system designed for a prosperous foundation. This is the foundation I see in my vision, which has been penned down in my leadership and nation building classic. Designed to build strong love in the hearts of the people and the leaders for a responsive government. These are the vision I see that have been penned down in my classic, the book WaaGovernment and Theory of Nation. A book on patriotism, social change, and nation building. from the oasis of our passion for the sustainable development of our country. At this point,
why are you blurring or blushing? He's practicing what you say on the United Nations stage.
Yeah, exactly.
what a message.
Oh,
Go ahead.
this is awesome.
I am the
It needs an office, you know. This is wonderful. This is awesome. What a wonderful message.
But be mindful that
The purpose
we want
of
to have dinner, Valentine's Day.
yes, what a purpose. WaaGovernment, you remember you asked me what the purpose of Nigeria? Because this country is so complex, so diverse, many interests. And you asked me when you were away, that's what is the purpose of. And I remember I told you that the purpose of the government is to provide security, social amenities, build enabling business environment, and opportunities. And opportunities. I'm running up the article. Wait, this is the article. The article must be complete. In every state and communities in the Federation to lead the struggle to restore the pride of Africa, one of the purposes of Nigeria is to restore the pride of Africa among community of nations. You know, Nigeria is the giant of Africa. This role of the citizen. Then, conclusively, what then becomes the role of the citizen? You that is listening to me. If you want a change in your country, you must be a driver of change. WaaGovernment. If you want a change in your country, you must be a driver of change. You must have passion for your country. Passion for your country is the antidote for nationhood and for development. As citizens, we must all believe in the unity and greatness of our country and only support inspiring patriotic leaders with vision. You must realize that your mind is the capital needed to end poverty. Empowering your mind is the best course of action to secure a prosperous future. And having achieved, you must know how to give back to humanity, which has been a great contribution to national and global peace. Also, government policy must be focused on improving the living standard of the people. Leadership must be compared by vision, not just to provide for the people, but to equally impact in their thinking process through the recommendation of materials of this sort for use in schools and institutions of higher learning. In building our country, we must rise and raise our country flags above our ethnic enclaves and corruption and selfishness. And greed, and stand in unity and one in spirit, pointing the people to possibilities and greatness of our country.
I stand for that.
Government was so pleased in building our country. We must raise our country flag. We must sing with Timi Dakolo. One nation, one people. This is our country. Nigeria is our country. Africa is our country. We don't have any other place. Election is coming close. Citizens of this great nation, while government you are of voting age, you have family members. You must consciously tell them who to vote for. We're not wasting our votes. We're not wasting our votes. We are voting for vision. We are voting for capacity, for experience. Those have been tested. Those are run system that works before. We are not compromising. We are not voting for ethnic enclave, religious affiliations, and party affiliations. We must drop all that if Nigeria must become a nation. Our love for our country must be greater and stronger in our heart than our ethnic enclaves.
Yeah.
This is my article on nation building that has been published in the dailies. It is the chapter 2 of the book WaaGovernment and Theory of Nations, series 1, built to be reviewed and presented in a program, the Love for Country campaign, that is drive on the wheels of patriotism in University of Port Harcourt in a few days from now.